Hi guys, welcome back. I hope everybody is doing great and fine. Okay, today we're going to be focusing on the Baba Ijesa molestation of minor, the story about that. That's basically what I'm going to be talking about today. And the first thing I'm going to be saying about that, it is a very traumatizing video. I mean, if you are someone that has a soul, someone that has conscience, and you view that video, of course, the face of the little child has been, blurred out, so it is not showing. So there's no way for you to see the face of the child, at least in the version I saw. So it is not exactly like the child is being further humiliated by you viewing the video. You understand that? So that's one thing I need to allow you to know about that. So now, the video is very traumatizing. It is very, very shocking. I mean, as someone that used to watch, the Yoruba movies when I was little and all of that, though I don't do that anymore. I mean, I was a big fan of this guy back then, and it seems almost like a betrayal to, some of the people who are his fans. I mean, that's just the fact. I understand that does not compare in any way to the traumatizing effect this thing must have caused on the little child. The child is just 14. There's no way the child could have initiated anything or could have been able to consent to anything that this man was doing, because that's basically what this thing is about. Sometimes we always wonder, why is it wrong for a person to have any sort of sexual relation with somebody that is a minor? The reason is because the child cannot consent. There's no way you can say somebody who's not fully developed cognitively, that is in the brain, is not fully able to decide, not fully able to choose for themselves and understand, for that person to be able to agree to a sexual relationship, even if the child seems to be in support of it. And obviously, in this case, the little girl was not even in support. It is very obvious that she was being prompted, the man was trying to make her get aroused sexually. He started by licking her fingers and all of those things, drawing her closer to himself, touching her laps, touching her on the hips and all of that, caressing her and all of that, and finally pulled her towards himself. It's sick and demented. Like, it is the stuff of this is basically what we call pedophilia. That is an attraction towards people that are underage. That is when an adult is having an attraction to a child sexually. That's what we call pedophilia. It is sick. It is a mental illness as far as I'm concerned. It is very, very demented, ugly, and evil. Like, it's nothing more evil than that, for you to sexually take advantage of a child. It is horrible enough for you to rape an adult, but when it comes to a child, it is just very demented. It is sick. It is crazy. That's basically what I'm going to be saying. It is very, very horrifying for you to see that. Imagine yourself being the child, being the parents of this child, and seeing your child being treated this way. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I'm going to say, for all parents, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful, especially if you have a female child. Be very careful. Be very careful with your child. This world is not a safe place. Even with family members, be careful with your child. That's basically how it is. So be careful with your child, because you don't know who's going to be a pedophile, because these things are not things that are announced out there. It's not something that is plastered on someone's face. Seeing Baba Ijesa for the first time, how are you going to know that this guy has some pedophilic tendencies? It's not something that is being shown on the face. That's basically the way it is. So you need to care for your children so that you don't have any sort of thing like this. It's just very demented. And one of the most terrible things out of this is that this thing just robbed the girl of her innocence. Imagine a girl of that age being touched by an old man, 48, almost 50 years old. That man, terribly old, and being treated like that by an old man. It must have something, it must be able to affect you in some very serious cognitive level and at some very psychological level. It must be something very, very traumatizing, honestly, for the little child. I wouldn't want to be someone in that position. Honestly, I really sympathize with the girl. It's just horrible. It's very, very horrible. I mean, now just think about it. And now he's all over the internet as the girl. Now, what are you going to know about her is that she is the girl that was what? That was raped by Baba Ijesa. Just think about that. To have that tag to your name from as little as that. Now, your video is all over the internet and you are known for that. It's just very shameful. It's something very, very disgusting for this to have been done to that girl. It is very horrible. And just imagine if this was never caught on tape. Just imagine if this was never caught on tape and there was not a hard proof for you to say that, okay, this is exactly what happened to this girl. I mean, the man was going to deny it. He would actually deny it even if the girl should come forward and say this is what happened and all of that. The man would deny it. It's only because we have a CCTV footage that we can prove it, that this man actually did this. It is just very, very sick. And one other thing I want you guys to put in mind is that victims of sexual abuse are more likely to fall victims again in the near future, which means if this girl doesn't go through some sort of counseling and some other things like that, it is very likely that she might fall victim of sexual abuse again, maybe by a boyfriend or anything later down the line, because the effect of being sexually abused is very, very deeply seated in victims, that it can sometimes, arouse again and bring them into such a situation. I understand this is probably foreign to some people that are hearing it for the first time, but it is scientifically proven that if a person is not very careful, they are more likely to fall into the situation of sexual abuse if they have been abused before, or for themselves to become abusers later in the future. So just imagine the level of damage that this man has caused to this lady, whether you like it or not, whether you know about it or not. And then the more sick, or should I say the more demented set of people are those people defending him. Those are the more sick people. Like, they're very crazy. For you to be defending something that is very visible, and this thing is very obvious, the video is clear. I don't know how somebody can view this video and still defend this man, no matter how much you loved him back when he was an actor. Like, I was a big fan of this man, but I can't sit and look at that video and still be in support of this man for whatever reason, what there is. That's just the basic way it is. And as far as I'm concerned, the way I see things is that the ideal thing is this man should rot in jail. That's basically how it is. He should rot in jail. And if apart from that, I mean, maybe you should castrate him. Maybe he should be put to death. I mean, that's the death penalty. I mean, this is very, very horrible. It's horrible stuff. I mean, it should be used as an example. But again, I understand that based on the system of justice in civilized societies, there should be presumption of innocence and all of that, you understand, even though it's very clear in this situation, but yada yada. Yeah, the process has to play out, and hopefully this man will be convicted and is going to get what is coming to him. Like, it's very, very sick. That's basically what I'm going to be saying about that. But again, we are in Nigeria. Let's just hope and pray that this man gets prosecuted and he gets the measure of punishment that should be going to him based on what he has done. Anyway, thanks for everybody. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's Naija Unsealed, and whether it's on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is, follow us on Twitter, Naija Unsealed on all platforms. Thank you very much